Welcome to Renaissance English Tuition Grammar Guide.
Today we shall study about the subject and the predicate. Every sentence has two parts, subject and predicate. Subject is that part of the sentence which tells us what or who the sentence is about, whereas the predicate is that part of the sentence which says something about the subject. In other words, we can say that the subject is the topic of the sentence and the predicate is that part which gives us some information about the subject. Now, see this example. I am a teacher of English. In this sentence, I is the subject because this is what the whole sentence is about. Am a teacher of English is predicate because this part gives us some information about the subject I. Normally, the subject is the first part of the sentence and the predicate comes after it. But this is not always the case. Sometimes the predicate may come before the subject, but we shall see those examples later on in the video. And there is one more important point to see that the predicate part has the verb. The verb is always contained in the predicate part. It can never come in the subject part. In this example also, am, which is a helping verb, is the part of the predicate. Let's see some examples. The first example is the cat and its kittens jumped over the wall. Now, what the sentence is about? Is it about the cat or is it about its kittens? Actually, the sentence is about both the cat and its kittens. Therefore, they make the subject of the sentence. And jumped over the wall is the predicate part because this is the information about the subject. Similarly, in the second sentence, Emma is the subject because the whole of the sentence is about Emma. And is playing chess with her mother is the information that we have about Emma. Therefore, this part makes the predicate. Likewise, in the third example, she runs. She is the subject because the sentence is about this word. And runs is the information we have about she. So, this is the predicate part. Now, there is one very important thing to note that in the first sentence, the subject has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. Whereas in the second and the third sentence, the subject has only one word. Similarly, in the predicate of the first sentence, there are 4 words. Now, coming to the second sentence, we see that the predicate has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words. While in the third sentence, the predicate only has one word. So we can conclude that the subject and the predicate may consist of one word or many words. Let's talk about interrogative sentences. First of all, let me tell you what interrogative sentences are. Interrogative sentences are those sentences which are in question form. Now see the first sentence. Do John and Smith go to school on time? In this sentence, John and Smith is the subject of the sentence. And we can clearly see that the sentence doesn't start with the subject. The sentence starts with the helping verb do. First comes the helping verb, then comes the subject. Similarly, in the second example, have you any money? The subject is you, but it doesn't come at the beginning of the sentence. The sentence starts with the helping verb have and then comes the subject you. Now see the example number 3. When does he return from work? In this sentence, the subject is he because the sentence is about he. The sentence here starts with the question word when. After that comes the helping verb does, and then after does comes the subject he. From this, we can conclude that the interrogative sentences do not start with the subject. They start either with the helping verb or with the question word and the helping verb. Now let's talk about imperative sentences. Imperative sentences are those sentences which have some command, request or suggestion in them. And in these type of sentences, the subject is always implied. It means it is understood and hence it is omitted. See the first sentence. Stand up. It is a command. And it is understood that the command has been given to you. So it is not necessary to say or write you here. So you is left out. See the second sentence. Give me a glass of water. It is a request. And it is understood that this sentence has been addressed to you. So we need not to say or write you here. So the subject is hidden here. Now see the third sentence. It is a piece of advice. It is not necessary to say you work hard because it is understood that the advice has been given to you. So we can conclude that in imperative sentences, the subject is always you, but it is not necessary to say or write you in imperative sentences. Besides all this, it is noteworthy that all the imperative sentences start with a verb. See here, the sentence starts with the verb stand, and the second sentence starts with the verb give, and the third sentence starts with the word work, which is also a verb. Now come the exclamatory sentences. Exclamatory sentences are those sentences which express some sudden and strong feeling, like that of joy, sorrow, surprise, or contempt. In these type of sentences, the sentence doesn't start with the subject. See, in this example, what a clever boy he is. The subject is he, and the sentence doesn't start with the subject he. The second sentence is, how lovely the child is. In this sentence, the subject is the child, and we can clearly see that the sentence doesn't start with the subject, the child. Likewise, in the third sentence, how brave the girl is. The subject is the girl, but the sentence doesn't start with the subject, the girl. If you are confused about finding out the subject in exclamatory sentences, you can do one simple thing. You can change all these sentences into a statement or an assertive sentence. Let's do it. What a clever boy he is. Change this sentence into an assertive sentence. It will become, he is a very clever boy. Now you can easily tell that the subject in this sentence is he. Now transform the second sentence into an assertive sentence. It will become, the child is very lovely. And now it is very easy to tell that the subject in this sentence is the child. Now do the same thing to the third sentence. The sentence will become, the girl is very brave. And we can find out that the subject in this sentence is the girl. In the beginning, I told you that subject is the first part of the sentence and then comes the predicate. But it is not always the case. Sometimes the predicate may come before the subject. Let us now discuss this point. In some cases, the subject is put after the predicate to make the sentence emphatic. Now, what does it mean? Let's see the first example. Sweet are the uses of adversity. In this sentence, we are talking about the uses of adversity. Hence, it is the subject of this sentence. And the predicate is sweet are. And we have changed the sequence of the subject and the predicate. Here in this sentence, predicate comes before the subject, and this sentence can be rewritten as the uses of adversity are sweet. This has been done to add force to this idea that uses of adversity are always sweet. Similarly, in the second sentence, the subject is the kind and the predicate is blessed are. We can rewrite this sentence as the kind are blessed. Such type of experiments are mostly done by the poets because they want to make their poetry impressive. Sometimes they want to put emphasis on some idea, and other times they want to adjust the rhyming scheme of their poem. And because they have poetic license, they can bend the rules of the grammar to suit their poetry. And hence we can say that it is not always necessary that the predicate comes after the subject. It may come before the subject in some cases.
That's all for today. Before winding up the video, let's recapitulate the main points. Number 1. Generally, the subject of the sentence comes before the predicate. But this is not always the case. To put emphasis on some idea, sometimes the subject is put after the predicate. Number 2. All other words, besides the subject, are the part of the predicate. Number 3. In case of interrogative sentences, the subject comes after the helping verb or question word and helping verb. Number 4. In exclamatory sentences, the subject is the listener to whom the sentence has been said. Number 5. In imperative sentences, the subject is left out. The whole imperative sentence is the predicate. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for notifications. See the description to follow us.